Oh, this is exciting. Today, we're diving into something that so many business owners struggle with, and that is sales. So, I'm going to be talking about how to make sales feel aligned and even easy. Yes, I said it, easy. So, if you've ever felt like selling is awkward or it's pushy or it's just not you, you're certainly not alone. And this episode is going to shift everything for you. Because this is the thing, selling doesn't have to feel like you're convincing anybody of anything or that you're chasing anyone. It can absolutely feel aligned, natural, and even it can feel fun, right? And this is what business should be. I'm really passionate about this. You should be feeling like you're having fun in your business. And this is something that I want to pre-frame for this episode. If you need to hear this now, you need to hear this 1,000 times. Listen to this as much as you need. The truth is, you are never selling yourself. Because this is what people say. They say, oh, I feel yucky self-promoting. I feel yucky selling myself. You're not selling yourself, right? You think about that, whatever other context you hear people selling themselves, it is a bit yucky. You're not selling yourself. Nobody can afford to pay for you anyway. So just take that off the table. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts that you can make around sales. You're not putting yourself up for sale. And you're definitely not selling some idea of perfection. That's what feels yuck. That's what feels off. That's what feels unaligned because it's not true. What you're actually selling is you're selling a vision. You're selling a movement, a way of thinking, a way of operating and thriving. And you're selling that because you absolutely believe in it and because you live it, right? You've also bought into that way of thinking and operating and that movement. And then all you're doing is inviting people into an experience that you know has the power to change their life if they choose to step into it and take responsibility for it. And when you see it that way, sales stops feeling icky, right? It starts feeling like leadership. This is really important, and it's very important in an energetic way as well. So we're going to unpack exactly how to shift this mindset today. Plus, I'll be sharing how you can go even deeper on this topic inside my Magnetic Business Matrix Masterclass. And we'll refine your sales process so it feels effortless and aligned with you. So let's get into that now. So first up, let's talk about why sales feels hard for so many coaches and service providers. Most of the time, it's because we've been taught to approach sales all wrong. And we think that we have to sell ourselves, our personality, our worth, our credibility. It's like we're on trial. And that is exhausting. That nobody wants to sign up for. Because deep down, you are human. We're all humaning. You're not perfect. Nobody else is perfect either. You've got doubts just like anyone else. And when you feel like you have to sell you in order for somebody to buy, it creates this kind of resistance. But this is the truth of it. You're not selling you, right? You're selling an opportunity for transformation. It's an opportunity for transformation, and it could be an amazing transformation, but it's not like you're not taking responsibility for every result in their whole life and that it's all to do with you and if you're good enough. None of that's true, right? You're selling a perspective shift. You're selling a way forward. You're selling a belief in what's possible, right? You're selling from a place of lived experience, not perfection. And it's the embodiment, it's the neurology that you have access to by having walked this path yourself. And you're inviting people into something that you've subscribed to and committed to in your own life and business. And that's why the best salespeople aren't the ones shouting about how great they are. Look at me, look at me, look at me in my Lamborghini. Nobody, I don't know, there might be some people like that, but doesn't appeal to me. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, that doesn't appeal to you either. They're the ones who are deeply aligned with the vision that they're inviting others into. That's the type of people that are the best salespeople, right? They're deeply aligned with the vision that they're inviting others into. It's the movement, it's the vision, it's the belief. That is it. And because the thing is, at the end of the day, the only reason people ever buy anything is because of how they think it will make them feel. And they want to feel empowered in that space. And so this is where alignment comes in. If sales has ever felt off for you, it might be because you're trying to sell in a way that doesn't feel good to you. You might have been taught to do sales in a way that doesn't feel good to you. You might be selling from an old belief of what sales is that doesn't feel good to you. But if you think about the last time you invested in something and felt amazing about it, was it because someone pressured you? Was it because someone chased you? Was it because they convinced you with a perfectly worded script? I doubt it. If I can hear someone like reading a script to me, I feel like they're just trying to manipulate me. I feel like they've got a script that's like, you just say that and they'll say yes. Yuck. No, nobody sells like that. Nobody buys like that and enjoys it. So when you are sold in a way that you felt like you've been empowered and you actually made the decision to buy, it was probably something about the person's energy, their clarity, and their confidence that made it easy for you to say yes. And that's the key. You have to sell in a way that feels right for you. Sell in the way that you would like to be sold to. And when you do this, you naturally attract people who resonate with your approach. You don't have to force them. You don't have to convince them. You simply show up, share the vision, and let people step into what it is that they feel called to. How nice is that? How nice is that for you and your clients? Right? It's beautiful. So let's break this down into something quite simple. Sales becomes effortless when, number one, you're fully aligned with what it is that you're offering, right? And you're looking at the value of the offer. You're not looking at the value of you, you're looking at the value of the offer. Your value is inherent, whether you're offering something or not. You're looking at you're aligned with the value of your offer. You genuinely believe in the transformation that you are providing. And that will be because either you've done it for yourself or you've helped plenty of other people do that. And you know the value of that. And number three, you position your offer as an obvious next step for your audience. Okay, you understand their journey. You know what is their next step. You're guiding them along the path. And when you've got those three things in place, selling then stops being about trying to get someone to buy. Instead, it becomes holding space for someone to recognize that they're ready to step into this next level. And that's beautiful. Okay, it's not about pushing anyone, it's about inviting them. And it's about saying, you know what, here's what I know to be true. Here's what's possible for you. If this resonates, well, then let's go, my friend. Right? It's much more fun. And this is why, you know, we have to know that selling is not about proving anything. It's about creating clarity so that people can make empowered decisions. You know your clients so well, you know where they are, you know where they're going, you know what their next step is, and you provide that certainty, that clarity for them to make that decision to move themselves forward and buy something that they want to buy. Okay, this is really important. You're never convincing anyone to buy something that they don't want or don't need. That's yucky. You're inviting people to take the next step, that you're guiding them through that process of where is their next step. That's exactly where they've been looking to go. They want to go, they're wanting to buy, and you're making that easy for them. So if we think about how this plays out in a sales conversation, it's not about following a script word for word, right? You may have had a sales script and that'll essentially just give you like a format of how things go, but you got to make sure that you understand what it is and that you feel aligned with that. Okay, but you don't need to have a script. When you're in a sales conversation, there are three main things that you've got to focus on. There's more, and I talk about this in my programs. But the three basic things are, number one, be present. Be present with the person in front of you. Hold space for them, as in I don't mean hold space for them just to tell you, all of their problems and to dump all their stuff and for you to try to make them feel better. No, that's different. We're talking about be present, and instead of thinking about what is the right thing to say, be listening to them. Really be listening to what it is that they're telling you. And then when you listen, you can ask really powerful questions, and you can get then really clear on what it is they want and what it is that's been holding them back. Okay, because then you're seeing the journey that they're on. You're getting an idea of what is that journey that they're on. Where are they now? Where do they want to get to? What's stopping them from getting there? And that's when you can then guide them to be able to make their own decision. You can let them see that what you're offering is the right next step for them, right? It's really creating this as like you're opening up the missing pieces of the path that they're already wanting to follow. And so a really great question to ask is, what would change for you if you had this result or if you had this outcome? Because ultimately, sales, again, isn't about selling coaching or selling a program. It's about helping someone to step into a vision that they already desire. It's helping them get really clear about where is it that they're going and how that you can help them get there. And when you show up from that space, people really feel it, right? It's not transactional, it's transformational. Okay, remember that. It's not transactional, it's transformational. So what then do you do if you feel resistance to selling? If you still feel resistance around selling, you've got to ask yourself something, right? What story am I telling myself about sales? Because here's the thing, you've got to always reflect it back to yourself. Have you bought things and felt happy that you've bought things? Because if you have, someone has been in a sales conversation with you and you've enjoyed it. Okay, so think about that. Because if you're telling yourself that selling is pushy, or that people don't want to hear about your offer, or that you're asking for too much, or, that whatever that is, that's going to feel off. But when you see sales for what it really is, a way to help someone step into a more aligned and expansive version of themselves, well, then that's a very different story, right? You change the energy. And when you change the energy, sales becomes effortless. Okay, when we're thinking about selling ourselves, we're all focused on validation. Okay, when we know that we're helping someone step into a more expansive version of themselves, that's service. And so we've got to get out of that validation and making it about you and into service and making it about your client. And this is really what I dive much deeper on inside the Magnetic Business Matrix Masterclass. And in that, I'm going to be going real deep with you around why it is that energy precedes strategy. Because so often I see people think, if I just have the right strategy, if I just have the right marketing strategy, sales script, if I just have the right program, if I just have, the right whatever, then everything will be solved. But the fact is, it's your energy that precedes the strategy. And I'm going to be going deeper into that. And also really talking about how you can attract clients who are ready to say yes, even before they get on a call with you. Because this is really where you want to be. If you're in your mind of going, oh, I just want to get someone on a call with me and then I'm going to convince them to buy my program. Ooh, yuck, that's gross. You want to be having people getting on a call with you or coming to your masterclasses or whatever it is in your email list that already they want to say yes. They know what they want and they're just looking to get that clarity to know that you're the person who offers that solution for them. And we're also going to look at integrating the energetics of selling and money and business so that it's not something that you do, because this is one of the big problems that I see is people get into business and they feel like business is outside of them. And you've got to really step into that. This is an energetic space that you evolve into where it's just become something that happens naturally. And so I'll be talking a lot more about how masculine and feminine energy really plays into sales and money and how to find the right balance so that selling feels aligned for you. Now, if this episode has resonated with you, if it's hit something with you, you really need to be inside this masterclass. Like, I am so passionate about selling, sharing, serving you in this space that I'm putting this on, and I would love to see you there. So if you want to get access to that, there'll be a link in the show notes to this, or you can jump on Instagram or Facebook and message me Magnetic, and I'll make sure you get the details for that. This is going to be a real game changer about how you approach your business, sales, and alignment moving forward. And, I think the real difference is that for me, sales and business never came that naturally. There was a lot of work that I needed to do for myself. And in that process, I'm very grateful for that process because I had to understand it structurally from the ground up. I had to unlearn a lot of things and relearn what really happens from the ground up when we come from like a position of looking at having a business and sales and marketing and money. And there's a real difference between having to do it that way and when people just have a natural affinity to sales and marketing. Because when you find people that are like, oh yeah, I've just always been great at sales and marketing. I was selling when I was like, I don't know, I've heard people they were selling like makeup and skincare when they were 13 and stuff like that. Not everybody's had that experience growing up. And often when people are in that space, they're they've got a lot of unconscious competence about what it is that they do. Whereas I didn't have any unconscious competence. I was very bad at sales and marketing and business when I first got started, but I have transformed that. And it's all happened by going very deep into my own mindset and beliefs and understanding energy from the masculine and feminine perspective, the beliefs, the self-worth, the value, all of that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm really passionate about sharing. So make sure that you register for that and get onto that masterclass. And that is it for today's episode. If this did hit home for you, take a screenshot, share it on your stories, tag me in it. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaways. And make sure that, like I said, make sure you join me for the Magnetic Business Matrix Masterclass. And I look forward to seeing you there.